Hello, Fredericksburg, Texas. Hello, world. Welcome to Informing Fredericksburg. To inform means to form what's inside. Nothing has more power to form our thinking or our being than the power of words. That begs the questions, what words, which words, whose words? Informing Fredericksburg. J.D. Rose with you. We're going to be visiting. It's double bonus show. It's double bonus coupon day here on Informing Fredericksburg. We're going to visit with Dr. Jeff Brazier, Fredericksburg Independent School District Superintendent, and we'll visit with him for 30 minutes or so, and then Coach Lance Moffett will sit in the chair right after that, the athletic director for the Fredericksburg Independent School District. So we got a lot of questions and a lot of great information for you today, and we'll visit with Dr. Brazier right after these.
Vogel Tractors, specializing in low-hour, high-quality ag equipment. Area farmers and recreational landowners put their confidence in Van and Jamie, knowing their tractors, loaders, and farm implements will exceed expectations. All equipment is well-serviced and field-tested, and if new is what you need, Vogel Tractors is your Rhino Ag equipment dealer in the Hill Country. Warranties, financing, and delivery is available locally or nationwide. Vogel Tractors, located on Highway 290 between Fredericksburg and Stonewall.
Texas Hill Country Bank understands these are challenging times, and they want to assure you that your favorite bankers are still there to help via phone or email, and their bank remains strong and focused on their customers. With mortgage rates the lowest they've ever been, now may be the perfect time for you to refinance your home, or maybe you're looking for a low-interest loan for your business. They'd love to talk to you, and if you haven't already taken advantage of their mobile and online banking options, give them a call or visit them online, TexasHillCountryBank.com, where good people make good bankers. Member FDIC. Segner's Jewelers has been serving Fredericksburg and the Hill Country since 1937. We're thankful for the relationships we've built. Our community has weathered the test of time through the ups and downs. Segner's Jewelers supports the community during this difficult season. We will get through this. We are here to help any way we can. From our family to yours, God bless and keep the faith. Segner's Jewelers. Fredericksburg Trade Days wants to encourage everyone to stay healthy and be kind to your neighbors. When we get through this, we look forward to seeing you each month out on our little hill. Remember, water seeks its own level. So be what you want those around you to be. Visit us, fbgtradedays.com. That's fredericksburgtradedays.com. Check us out on Facebook. God bless. And we will get through this.
And we are back now, Informing Fredericksburg. J.D. Rose with you. And first of all, here I'm going to visit with Dr. Jeff Brazier, Fredericksburg Independent School District Superintendent. Dr. Brazier grew up in a small West Texas town, graduated from, Seymour High School?
Seymour High School, yes, sir. Seymour, Texas.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself before we get into the question.
Well, born and raised in Seymour, lived there my entire life, born in the old hospital there. And, of course, my parents were in a private business, so we were farm and ranch, but also he ran a truck stop. So at a very early age, Dad wanted us to understand the meaning of hard work. And so, I spent many hours on the tractor or spraying cotton or pumping gas or, whatever the situation called for. So, and not only that, he believed in not only hard work, but discipline and, putting God first. And so... So, we went to church, and he expected us to behave and, make good choices and work hard. And so that's really how I grew up. But, I think Seymour's a wonderful town, and it was, founded on hard work and values. So it really fit us well. And I'm really thankful for that experience because it has taken me now to where I am today and have the opportunity to serve as a superintendent and serve this wonderful community of Fredericksburg. So I feel like it's a real blessing, the background that I had, but to be here now in Fredericksburg.
Billy Nation welcomes you with open arms. Easy for me to say. So, welcome to Fredericksburg. We appreciate that. Before I even start, I want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to some of our true heroes, all healthcare professionals on the front lines right now. I could almost tear up just talking about them and the battle that they're fighting for all of us right now. So I want to say a heartfelt thank you to those true heroes out there.
And I'd like to chime in that too. I've got a lot of family that's in healthcare. I've got a sister that's a doctor in Austin, and and a sister that's a doctor in McAllen. And we communicate, and I know that they're real concerned and working hard, as well as my wife is a nurse. My daughter's going to graduate with her bachelor's of nursing. And
so you know firsthand, it's not an easy battle.
It's really not. So yeah, they're on the front lines. They're working hard and putting their lives in danger, to some extent, to serve our community.
Like I said, that's true heroes. Right?
Yes, it is.
True heroes. And with that being said, I find it amazing, Dr. Brazier, that how the Fredericksburg Independent School District responded with maybe 36 hours when all this first started.
Yeah.
That's just truly amazing to me.
It really is. And, you really see what people are made of when you are in a crisis situation. And this really, to me, is and has been in a crisis. And I'm so thankful, first of all, just for our parents and our community to understand that, we were working and having such a great year, preparing for the STAR, and so many great things were going on. And then all of a sudden, bam, it all stops. We have to do a 180 and then move in a completely different direction.
Wow.
And our parents and community have been so supportive. And, you really get to understand, people, but also what a community is made of. And, it's just been a real blessing to work with, the city and the hospital and Jane Poe and Kent Myers and so many people that spend so many countless hours,
there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Leading this community.
Goodness sakes.
Yeah, and they've of course allowed me to pull me in and for me to be a part of that, and you just really see what quality leadership that we have across this community. And so it really is impressive, and we are blessed to have so many great people working in so many different areas. So thankful for all those people, but back to your original question about, of course, our principals, our teachers, our administrators, they stepped up, and really none of us knew how all this was going to roll out, but you know what? People just jumped in with both hands, got to work. There was no complaining, no negativity. Everybody just says, all right, let's go. And we have worked through and figured this out. We rolled out some instruction within days. But what's more impressive is how they're continually getting better. And so too many times when we have a crisis or we have a problem, we always see the problem and not the opportunities. But I think that's one thing that really sets Fredericksburg ISD apart from so many others, that we've seen, we understand the problem, but we've seen the problem differently to create opportunities for us to grow. And I think you've seen teachers step out of their comfort zone, become more enhanced in their ability to utilize technology. All the support staff, they have stepped up to support the teachers. And so everybody has just really come together in like a fine-tuned machine to roll out great instruction, and we continue to get better each and every day.
Like you said, when something like this happens, you really understand a person's character. And we've got a lot of great people in this community, and a lot of wonderful teachers, and
absolutely
just a great staff over there at the school.
Yes, we do. Now, a lot of people we talk about is the teachers, and because they're the ones that are out front and center and doing so much of the work that we see. But right. What we don't see is the people behind the scenes. And I really think that we need to really give a shout out to them and tell them how thankful we are for them, particularly our custodians and maintenance. Those folks, Mr. Porter, he's our director of maintenance and operations, and he does such a phenomenal job of leading that team of people. And the amount of cleaning they're doing, sanitizing, we try to limit, the amount of time, in the buildings. But initially we had to go in there and work, but we had schedules set up where the teachers were in there, and then the custodians would come in right behind them and clean and sanitize and disinfect. And they were working around the clock, doing a phenomenal job there. Even maintenance stepped in, they were supporting the custodial staff. So they just did an incredible job as well. And then we rolled out, of course, our feeding program. And of course, Joyce Fox, she's our director of our cafeteria services, and they just really, we do have a summer feeding program, but we knew we couldn't bring people together. We had to do it curbside. They put together a great plan and have done just such an amazing job.
So right now they're getting breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday, is that correct?
That's correct, yes. And they refined it where we do it from 11 to 1, so that way the parents don't have to come up there at 2 different times. They can just come at one time, and they packaged up a really nice meal. And so I think we've, just this past week, we served about 1,800 meals to students, about almost 5,000 total since this whole thing began. But what's important to remember too, so you sometimes wonder what kind of quality of meals that we're talking about, particularly when you're talking about cafeterias. So my wife, she had went and picked up, I got 2 children still in school and picked up 2 meals for them. And until I really wanted to see, the quality of service. But anyway, my wife could not speak highly enough of the quality of service that our cafeteria people provided. But then the quality of food was amazing. And I have to confess, I did just sample it, and the food was incredible. And so I think once people really, the word gets out there about how good a quality of food that they're providing, I think you'll see those numbers continue to increase.
And especially for those, less fortunate too, that need that and depend on that meal each day, or those meals,
yes.
Plural in this case. So.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. We think about, about shutting down school, and I know when this first thing started, we were real skeptical about shutting the school down because we were following CDC guidelines, and we thought we were initially doing the right thing. But that was, I think, one of our biggest fears and our biggest concerns is about so many of our students that are what we consider economically disadvantaged, and they rely on the food, which that's one piece of it, but it's the social, emotional support, the educational opportunities that those kids are not getting that they would be if they were in school. So it was a difficult decision for a lot of reasons, but of course, as information evolved and we understood better of what laid out before us, then we move forward with closing.
Well, with that being said now, and since we're on that topic, maybe down the road, or you may already be on this, but like Wi-Fi, trying to get some Wi-Fi maybe or something like that to some families. And I'm willing, I know Billy's.live, FBG.live would be willing to help, in any way we can. Or is there steps going on for that so they can be homeschooled too?
Well, actually, y'all think y'all are stepped up, and I know there's some lessons taught through Billy's Live, so we're very, very thankful for that as well. And there's a lot of online instruction going on, particularly at middle school and at the high school. But I have noticed as teachers become more confident and more understanding of how to do that, more and more teachers now starting to do lessons live through Zoom meetings or using different platforms to make that happen. But also, we've handed out so many laptops, and the board, they went and we bought about 500 more computers for teachers and students. So as those come in and technologies get those up and running, we'll continue distributing more and more computers. And then, of course, reaching all those kids with Wi-Fi is something that technology is working through as well. And so we're looking at maybe purchasing some hotspots and putting those on buses. And, of course, those would be mounted permanently. But I thought good. I thought it'd be a good idea too if we could put those on our activity buses, park those, and that would. There are just some areas I think living in the hill country you're probably not going to be able to get Wi-Fi to, but it will allow us to get more Wi-Fi to more students.
Outstanding.
But I like that idea too. So when school does start back up, and it's not a matter of if but when, if those are on those activity buses, when our kids leave, because we have such phenomenal kids in this community, and they go because they're competing at state, national level. But anyway, they'll have that Wi-Fi access on buses. So if they have to leave, they can still tune in to maybe class, or they can do their homework, and so that'll give them a lot more capabilities there as well. So that money will...
So like you say, you learn things, but then once we get through this, that's you'll have Wi-Fi on the buses. I mean, there's something will come out of this that's positive.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I know right now it looks a little bit grim and can be, but there's a silver lining in a lot of crisis too. So.
Right. Things we've never thought of before, and that's what I'm talking about. Is not seeing just the problem, but seeing the opportunities from those problems. And I think that's what will make us great after we come through this whole situation.
I love that. Love that. You bet. We're going to take a quick break. We'll continue our conversation here with Dr. Jeff Brazier, Fredericksburg Independent School District Superintendent. We'll be right back. Informing Fredericksburg.
Touch Well Service will take care of all your water well needs that come after drilling. They specialize in water pump installation and repairs, servicing windmills, solar pumps, jets, submersible pumps, and pressure tanks. Touch Well Service has been in business since 2002 with 83 years combined experience. Their entire staff is dedicated to their customers. Touch Well Service supports all men and women in the United States military and first responders. Touch Well Service, 830-997-2413. On the web, hillcountrywaterwell.com, and look for them on Facebook.
Creek Street Dental utilizes the latest technologies in dental care. Dr. McBride has been specially trained to offer the Hill Country sedation dentistry. Anxious patients can sleep through oral surgery in a private room with family nearby. Their CBCT machine provides near-silent imaging, making possible the most painless and effective treatments. iTero technology allows virtual manipulation and modeling, so no more gagging on impression trays. Call 830-990-1178 for the best in your family's dental health today.
Cordially Invited, a special service for special events, anywhere in the Hill Country. Family and friends won't have to miss it after all. From the producers of Billy's.live, cordiallyinvited.live. Find us in all the familiar places.
Vogel Tractors, specializing in low-hour, high-quality ag equipment. Area farmers and recreational landowners put their confidence in Van and Jamie, knowing their tractors, loaders, and farm implements will exceed expectations. All equipment is well-serviced and field-tested, and if new is what you need, Vogel Tractors is your Rhino Ag equipment dealer in the Hill Country. Warranties, financing, and delivery is available locally or nationwide. Vogel Tractors, located on Highway 290 between Fredericksburg and Stonewall.
And we're back informing Fredericksburg. J.D. Rose visiting right now with Dr. Jeff Brazier, Fredericksburg Independent School District Superintendent. He's going to visit with me for a little longer, and then Coach Lance Moffett will be on the show, the athletic director, all in one show today. We're going to cover the Fredericksburg Independent School District as much as we can on this program. We also want to thank Bell House B&B for allowing us to use the bed and breakfast facility as our studio here, and we appreciate them as well. Tell us a little bit. Can you fill us in a little bit on the daily operation of the district? Just kind of give us a kind of a outline of the day, or whatever the case may be. And I know you've talked about a few things you've learned, but if there's anything else that you've learned, you being the school, Fredericksburg Independent School District has learned over the past few weeks.
Okay. Well, we'll start off. For us, it's at our office. For a lot of us, it's business as usual. I'm there every day. I get there anywhere between 7:30 every morning, sometimes early, depending if we have a meeting or something like that. But the business office is there working, every day. We're everybody has their own offices. We're doing our social distancing. We've locked the front door. We just don't want anybody just walking in there, but we're open for business. So if anybody needs anything, any information or whatever, they can call, and we'll get them in touch with the right person. But Deborah Ottmers and her business office are doing a phenomenal job, because we've got to continue, moving forward, and bills have to be paid, purchases have to be made, teachers, staff have to be paid. And so there's a tremendous amount of work that's still going on at the district level. So I think that's so important to let everybody know as well. And another group that's also working hard is our district counselors. I'd mentioned our economically disadvantaged populations, and there's still people out there. And I think that when you have a crisis situation, I think we're all struggling at different times. And, parents, with the economic side of it, some of them may lose jobs because of this, or not work, or maybe not getting paid or less pay. So there's so many different things that are going on right now. So they're doing their best to stay in touch with the students and provide that emotional, social support that some of our students may need. So, the counselors are still working hard. But then while all this is going on, we're now, still trying to get ready for next year. And this is really our busiest time of the year as we start having, budget meetings, trying to get our budget set for next year. The hiring process is really starting to pick up. We have some key positions within the district that are opening up. Miss Monica Ward, our phenomenal principal at Fredericksburg Elementary, is retiring, and she's going to be missed. And so, we're starting to get things organized and committees set up to start moving in that process. So there's just tremendous amount of work that's still going on. I guess one of the greatest resources that we've had through this process is that each day at 3 o'clock, superintendents across the state, we are on a phone conversation with our Commissioner of Education, Mike Morath. And so, he's constantly giving us support and information. And, honestly, there's so much information, it's almost impossible to process all that at any one time. Right. But there's so much, it's every day for anywhere from an hour to hour and a half, that they're giving us this information. So, anyway, it may seem when you drive by the schools and there's no cars in front, or maybe a few, there's still a lot of work that's going on behind. And the people that aren't actually there at Central Office working, I mean, they're home and they're working hard as well.
You bet.
And it really has transformed how we even meet and do business. So all of our meetings, our principal meetings that we have, that's all done through Zoom. I mean, I think I've heard of Zoom, but that's it. But now we're all meeting through Zoom meetings, and so there's certainly some pros and cons there. I prefer meeting face to face with people and just spending that time with them. Discussing problems or issues or concerns and celebrating. But anyway, it's been a whole new way of doing business, and so I've actually had to get out of my comfort zone. Even I think I'm somewhat good at technology, but this has allowed me to move forward and get better and try.
Everybody branching out a little more.
Yeah, branching out a lot more. Yeah.
Well, school out right now till May 4th, as of right now. Is there any set date in your mind that might be the final straw in making the decision of not returning back to school? Is it 2 weeks left? Is it a week left?
Well,
I know it wouldn't be solely you making that decision, but when I say you, I'm talking about the Fredericksburg Independent School District and possibly other schools in the state. Is there a magic date?
Yeah.
When you say we're just not going to open the doors at all?
Well, that's a very good question. And right now, of course, we know about the governor's declaration, and he's closed schools until May 4th.
May 4th, right now.
And so, I just want to be positive because I think another issue that I'm struggling with as well as so many people is that we want our kids involved in all the great things and getting that first-class education that we strive to provide each and every day at Fredericksburg ISD. But you had to think about our seniors.
Yeah. Oh man, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah. These young men and women have been working since they were babies for this time. This is their year. That they want to compete or perform or whatever their situation may be, and now that's being taken away because of the COVID pandemic. And so I think that we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that they at least have graduation. I know that's a big one there as well. But we've even talked about maybe pushing that into June or even July, depending on the situation for those who can come back and participate in that ceremony. So I think that's what we really want to do, and do all we can to support those those young men and women who work so hard for their senior year, so they'll have that opportunity.
You bet. Well, like you and I said earlier, the community is certainly pulling together, and we certainly want to make some things happen. And I'm thinking positive too. But I was just wanted to ask you that in the event. I didn't know if you.
But I think if we could go back, and again, I would have to get a lot more input from principals and the board.
Right.
But if we even just go a week, that way everybody could kind of come together, just be together, celebrate, and then go.
Sure.
Would be
sure.
To me, I think worth that time.
I think that's all in our prayers that will happen. This curve will flatten, and we can get back on with all of our lives.
But
get
we're
people
preparing
back to work.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Yes, sir. But we're preparing for going to the end of the year, and we'll take it 1 week at a time. And if our governor and local officials say that we can go back to school and it's safe for our students and for our staff, then we'll stop and we'll get back in school and get things going back to normal as soon as we can.
Can you get us caught up a little bit on the school board meeting? I know there's good news right here. Some new computers. I think you mentioned that a little while ago. There's going to be new computers coming in, and that's been approved, correct?
Yes, correct. That was approved. I think they spent about, don't quote me on this number, off the top of my head, like $326,000, I think. And that was a little bit higher than what we thought it was going to be. But, I'm really proud, again, of our business office and the fact that we try to be very frugal with our hard-earning taxpayer dollars that we have. And so we passed the bond, several years ago, and we had estimated what that would cost to do, these various projects. But through value engineering and just good money management, we saved, and we still know that exact number. It's around $600,000 or $700,000. So we had that money there, so we took that money, and the board felt that would be money well spent.
You bet.
And so the board did approve that purchase, and so Dr. Michelle Williamson, she's our director of technology. She's working on now getting that order in, and I did actually read an article today on Tassanet, and it basically stated that they're kind of struggling now keeping up with some of the demands with other schools as they're now starting to lean heavier on technology. So we hope that we'll get those computers in within the hands of students within 3 or 4 weeks. Which
sweet,
yeah,
sweet.
That's the best that we can do.
Speaking of that, I know you've briefed on this a little bit too. You've already mentioned the district's preparing for next year a little bit. Let's say that this does linger, unfortunately. We pray that doesn't happen, but let's say it does linger on a little longer than we all want it to. We want it to end now, right? But let's say it does linger into, say, July or something like that. I guess you're kind of preparing for next year with that in mind. Is that correct? Or would you be? Or
Well,
I know we want to get back to school. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm extremely optimistic that we'll be able to start next year on time. But, however, you don't know about these
right,
things.
Exactly.
So, to be 100% honest, we haven't thought that far ahead. But I know that what we've gone through these last few weeks, I think is going to prepare us to prepare for next year. In that regard, if we can't start the school on time the way we traditionally have over the last 172 years. So we'll figure that out, exactly what that would look like. But I'm confident that we can do anything that we put our minds to it.
If we all just stay home and do what we're supposed to,
well, that's the key.
Social distancing and all those things, then hopefully we'll get back to school on time. Well, thank you for joining us. I do want to give you the opportunity to share any final thoughts that you have, and then we'll take a little break, and then Coach Moffett will be joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about UIL and such. But Dr. Brasher, thank you so much for your time, and if the floor is yours with some thoughts.
Well, again, I just want to tell our faculty and staff across the district how thankful we are for them and how proud of them that we are for all their hard work and all that they're doing for our students. It truly is. We talk about in Fredericksburg about inspiring excellence, and that was something that was here before I got here. Inspiring excellence, and to see the teachers and the administration and the staff do what they're doing in such a short period of time and continue to evolve and get better. And I feel like that's what we're about at Fredericksburg ISD, is getting better every single day. Learning what you did one day, learning from that experience, and all right, what can we do better to make that better? And I think that's what we're doing even now with this online and this packet instruction. So can't say enough about our faculty and staff, our teachers, and all that they're doing in our community. But I do think the important thing is that we really need to follow the protocol that's laid out through the Governor's Declaration, making sure that we're staying at home, we're social distancing, and we talk about integrity, we talk about teamwork and doing all those things. But I think if we'll work together, if everybody will do their part in staying home, doing the social distancing, then I think the sooner maybe this thing will peak, flatten, and then we can get back to life as we used to know it, or close to know it as we can. So, and also the students are being resilient, and I think the students are working hard, certainly the ones that I have direct contact with and what I'm seeing. So really everyone is doing just a phenomenal job and during a very difficult time. So proud of everyone.
Fredericksburg's pulling together, man.
Yes, it is.
You bet.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
All right.
God bless you, Dr. Brasher.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. Thank you for coming in and taking time out of your busy schedule.
Anytime. And thank you all for all that Billy's Live done for our athletic program. It's I know that even with all the great playoffs that were going on, I couldn't make every game, but I was able to watch it on Billy's Live as well. So I had that experience. And y'all do such a phenomenal job, so we really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Got a great staff. We've got cameramen right here, right now. We'll recognize them in a little bit. But Dr. Jeff Brazier, thank you very much. Fredericksburg Independent School District Superintendent. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Texas Hill Country Bank understands these are challenging times, and they want to assure you that your favorite bankers are still there to help via phone or email, and their bank remains strong and focused on their customers. With mortgage rates the lowest they've ever been, now may be the perfect time for you to refinance your home. Or maybe you're looking for a low-interest loan for your business. They'd love to talk to you. And if you haven't already taken advantage of their mobile and online banking options, give them a call or visit them online, TexasHillCountryBank.com, where good people make good bankers. Member FDIC. Segner's Jewelers has been serving Fredericksburg and the Hill Country since 1937. We're thankful for the relationships we've built. Our community has weathered the test of time through the ups and downs. Segner's Jewelers supports the community during this difficult season. We will get through this. We are here to help any way we can. From our family to yours, God bless and keep the faith. Segner's Jewelers. Fredericksburg Trade Days wants to encourage everyone to stay healthy and be kind to your neighbors. When we get through this, we look forward to seeing you each month out on our little hill. Remember, water seeks its own level. So be what you want those around you to be. Visit us, fbgtradedays.com. That's fredericksburgtradedays.com. Check us out on Facebook. God bless, and we will get through this. Touch Well Service will take care of all your water well needs that come after drilling. They specialize in water pump installation and repairs, servicing windmills, solar pumps, jets, submersible pumps, and pressure tanks. Touch Well Service has been in business since 2002 with 83 years combined experience. Their entire staff is dedicated to their customers. Touch Well Service supports all men and women in the United States military and first responders. Touch Well Service, 830-997-2413. On the web, hillcountrywaterwell.com, and look for them on Facebook.
We're back informing Fredericksburg.
Awesome.
JD Rose, and we're going to visit now with Coach Lance Moffett, Fredericksburg Independent School District Athletic Director. And one thing interesting that a little birdie told me, you actually went to college with the UIL Director of Athletics, Dr. Susan Elza. But I want you to elaborate on that a little bit, but also tell us a little bit more about yourself. Maybe something I don't even know. You and I.
Oh man, we've been doing this together a long time. You know a lot about me, so
tell us about yourself.
I don't know how many people know this, but we just started. February 1st was the beginning of our 10th year as the AD and the head football coach. So real proud of that. That's with the nature of athletics and the way things go today. That's something I'm real proud of. I'm real proud of our program. As far as Dr. Elza goes, yeah, certainly she was an exceptional softball player at Southwest Texas, and I was a scrub walk-on football player. So that's about the interaction. But we did at that time. Kids still lived in the dorm, and you shared a cafeteria, common eating area, and all the athletes kind of ate in one area, so we got to spend some time together and got to know her. And then she's had an exceptional career, following her all the way up to becoming the first female athletic director at the UIL, and has done an exceptional job reaching out to coaches and connecting with coaches and seeking input from us into issues like we're in right now. And so that's certainly don't have any, preferred treatment or anything like that, but, get to talk to her, see her at all the events we go to. And so there's some commonality there. So
beautiful.
But as far, unique things to me, I don't know. I think everybody else is going through this. Just, I've been an empty nester for 2 years now, and now that's over. So I got 2 grown adults living in my house now. And so that's been a little bit of an adjustment, as it is for everyone else. So, but yeah, those are the things that are going on in our world right now. So
I've let it be well known publicly.
You bet.
How impressed I am with the way the UIL has handled this COVID-19 situation by not throwing in the towel, giving us something to hope for in these trying times.
Mm-hmm.
All UIL sanctioned activities, contests, practices, rehearsals, and workouts are suspended right now. Here's my question. With that being said, is remote learning and coaching allowed, or maybe teleconference? How are those? Does that play
certainly?
Into this at all?
The UIL does a great job. Again, kudos to Susan and her staff for being connected to coaches and the DECs. And what a lot of people don't understand probably is that UIL sets the foundation of rules for all competition, whether it be athletics or fine arts or whatever. And then the local districts expand on the details of those rules. So just like our school districts are set up, state of Texas has TEA and certain guidelines. Well, locally, from an athletic perspective, a fine arts perspective, a academic perspective, when you're talking about competition, all of those rules are generally done at the local level. And so, kudos for them for reaching, down to us so that we can have a voice, and so that we can be part of the process. And in times like this, they have to make foundational decisions. And as you mentioned, I couldn't be more proud of them for not throwing in the towel. We're sitting there on spring break, and everybody's doing their spring break, and then you see that the NBA is not playing and the NCAA tournament's over and all. And then on Thursday or Friday, whatever day it was, they suspended the state boys basketball tournament. And, everybody follows suit. But the flip side of that is, I think by nature, athletic people, competitive people in schools, we're a lot more positive than, because we have to be. And so I think we understand that we all want to come back to school. And when we do, we understand how vital competition is, how connected it makes for kids to to want to come to school, whether it be academic competition, fine arts competition, music competition, athletic competition. When we're in school, we need to be doing those things. And so I think that's the best part of what they've done. You know, they came out today with another addendum to initially they had said March 4th would be a return to practice, return to play protocol. Of course, when the governor issued the executive order and says March 4th will be the earliest date we can come back to school, UIL kind of had to amend theirs and to say that we're on hold right now, basically is what they're saying now. It came out today. I was checking my email before I came up here and had an email that went out to all the athletic directors and superintendents basically saying that, you know, for the time being we're suspended, but we still have contingency plans. And that's the thing. When I got the opportunity to talk to Susan, I've talked to her a couple of times throughout this, and I got to talk to Brian Polk, another connection, if you will. He was the athletic coordinator, head football coach at the school where my brother is the trainer. So I kind of knew him before he went into that role too. So certainly, again, not saying I'm more connected or anything else, but I have a personal relationship with them. So,
but they're all former. A lot of them are former coaches.
Certainly, no, they're all formal coaches, and in the coaching world, it's just a huge fraternity, and these people know those people, and all of that. So, but just talking to them, you know, they're just continually revamping their contingency plans because they're committed to us getting to do some sort of competition. And I think, as I mentioned, it speaks to the value of what the UIL supports and what we're able to do. And I just mentioned that connectivity with kids. You know, a lot of our kids come to school because they're on a team, because they're in the band, because they're on the academic, because, you know, and you know, at the nuts and bolts of it, I mean, that's what it's all about, is connecting with them so they have a reason, a motivation, you know, someone at school that's going to check on them and those kind of things.
Well, right now the UIL stating May 4th is a magic date.
Yeah.
We all want to get
certainly.
back to school. So if students return to school, is it game on? If so, obviously, for example, I'll use softball and baseball as an example in sports.
Right.
Obviously, they won't play a 10-game district season.
Sure.
Obviously, when they have the playoffs, it won't be 2 out of 3 games.
Right.
It's one and done. I mean, I would.
Yeah, you know,
that's what common sense.
Right,
tells me.
and even though I have connectivity to them, I certainly don't want to say that I know what their plans are. Right. So,
right.
And I certainly, and I think they've done a great job of not wanting to put out misinformation, and so they're steadily behind the scenes working on, if this date happens, then this is what it'll look like. And then if it doesn't happen for another week, then this is what it'll look like, and so on and so forth. I think they'll kick some of it back to the local level in terms of, you know, soccer is an example. Soccer had 2 games of district left before the suspension happened. So really tonight, we ought to be playing the regional quarterfinals in soccer. I believe, looking at their calendar, that tonight should have been the regional quarterfinals, and then you prepare to go to the regional tournament and then the state tournament. So, you know, you don't want to put out there any kind of predictability, because then you have to back it up. And I think they've done a good job of not doing that. But having spoke to them, they've also been in communication with the THSCA, the TGCA, which are the big the girls and boys coaches, and the coaches associations, you know, and then all of the sport coaches associations, the Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association, the Texas Association of Basketball Coaches, and they've been seeking all the input from all of those people as to, you know, what is our best option in terms of getting this done. And certainly, I don't think anyone has a best option at this point. I think it's all still up in the air, and we're all still hopeful, and we're all still praying, and we want it to happen. And I think, just like any of this, when we go back to work, it's going to happen fast. You know, I think the UIL does a really good job of helping us prepare kids for competition. So I don't think they're going to let us just come back on May 4th and we play a game that night. Right. I think we'll probably have a 3 to 5 day, what they call during the fall, during the summertime, beginning of fall, is the acclimatization period, where our kids get a chance to get back to used to doing, you know, game speed competition, game speed conditioning, that kind of stuff. I don't think they're going to just let us come back on May 4th and boom, we have games tonight. And there's all kinds of options. You know, I wouldn't begin to speculate. You know, some people have kicked out, you know, district tournaments. Instead of having a district, you know, season, you just play a district tournament, and that starts the playoff tournament. You know, I think that's probably a viable option. As far as soccer, you might just go from the rankings that they had at the moment that the suspension happened. I couldn't begin to speak for them. I wouldn't want to, but I think you've done a great job of accentuating the positive from what they're trying to do and not make this thing end. And so, I think they just don't want to put it out there and then be held to it, and they want to see what happens. And so I think we're just all hopeful.
May 4th, we got to wait and see.
And they're committed. And the thing they put out today said that, if things look like they're going to go a certain way, then we'll be back in touch ahead of the May 4th deadline with more, information about what we're going to do. And
so they're on it like a duck on a cheetah.
Yeah, they're working just like everybody. We're all learning how to work remotely, certainly, but they're still working together, and communicating with each other and taking care of their business. So,
all right,
yeah.
Coach Lance Moffett, Athletic Director, Fredericksburg Independent School District. We're going to be back and continue our conversation with Coach Moffett when we come back, informing Fredericksburg.
Creek Street Dental utilizes the latest technologies in dental care. Dr. McBride has been specially trained to offer the Hill Country sedation dentistry. Anxious patients can sleep through oral surgery in a private room with family nearby. Their CBCT machine provides near-silent imaging, making possible the most painless and effective treatments. iTero technology allows virtual manipulation and modeling, so no more gagging on impression trays. Call 830-990-1178 for the best in your family's dental health today.
Cordially Invited, a special service for special events, anywhere in the Hill Country. Family and friends won't have to miss it after all. From the producers of Billy's.live. Cordiallyinvited.live. Find us in all the familiar places.
Vogel Tractors, specializing in low-hour, high-quality ag equipment. Area farmers and recreational landowners put their confidence in Van and Jamie, knowing their tractors, loaders, and farm implements will exceed expectations. All equipment is well serviced and field tested, and if new is what you need, Vogel Tractors is your Rhino Ag equipment dealer in the Hill Country. Warranties, financing, and delivery is available locally or nationwide. Vogel Tractors, located on Highway 290 between Fredericksburg and Stonewall.
Texas Hill Country Bank understands these are challenging times, and they want to assure you that your favorite bankers are still there to help via phone or email, and their bank remains strong and focused on their customers. With mortgage rates the lowest they've ever been, now may be the perfect time for you to refinance your home. Or maybe you're looking for a low-interest loan for your business. They'd love to talk to you. And if you haven't already taken advantage of their mobile and online banking options, give them a call or visit them online, TexasHillCountryBank.com, where good people make good bankers. Member FDIC.
Informing Fredericksburg, I do want to tell you it takes a lot to put these shows on. They just don't automatically happen. We got 3 or 4 camera operators in here, and I do want to stress too, as you watch these back when they become a podcast, or as you watch it live, support the sponsors that we have.
No question.
I mean, pay attention to who's sponsoring these shows, and because they want us to get this information out as bad as we want to get this information out. Right. And we appreciate those businesses, even though it's a very slow time for businesses, that they're hanging in there with us. And I think it's important that we please support those. I ask you from the bottom of my heart to do that. I want to thank Paige Finley, Caleb Dale, Bella Finley, Jeff Stiles, and Cody Dale, our staff here. No question. Putting things together.
Man, this is a first-class act, man. This is a first-rate deal. So
thanks,
we're doing it up. You bet. No, it's good.
That. Good. Well, I know, again, you don't have a crystal ball that you can look into.
You bet.
But is the UIL saying how far into the summer they're willing to go if this stretches out beyond May 4th? I mean, are they willing to stretch, even if the students don't come back to school for some reason? Are they willing to stretch the sports out?
I think that's an option. Again, I don't want to speak. I'm certainly not a spokesman for the UIL.
Correct.
But I think the general consensus, again, I mentioned they're seeking input from the different organizations, the different associations. They're seeking input from superintendents, the legislative council, whoever. And I think the general consensus is we're willing to do whatever we can to help these spring sport kids get done whatever it is they need to get done. And I think that would extend through June. It's not uncommon. As our community knows, we were playing at the state softball tournament last June, and the state baseball tournament would have been the next week. So there's already UIL activities that happen in June after school ends. So I don't think it's an unreasonable stretch to think that, we're going to have to extend it a period of time into the summer if we're able to do that. And so again, their contingency plans, plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. I mean, they probably have them all the way through Z.
No.
And so because that's what they're best at doing, is figuring those things out. But I think general consensus is, I think we're all committed to doing whatever we can to finish whatever we possibly can if we're given the opportunity to come back to school. So I think the summer is definitely on the table. I think, as you get into July, now you're looking at next year. And so at some point, there's all kinds of considerations. Anybody that's had kids go to college know that, seniors start going to, orientation in the summer and stuff like that. And if we get back to our normal sense of life, those are the things that are going to happen. And so you're going to have to weigh those kind of things into the equation, and of course, this is a national thing. So that's where the direction is going to come from. So
you bet.
But I definitely think we will definitely look at doing that.
There's hope again.
Yeah, you bet.
Looking at the positive side.
No doubt.
So the district schedule obviously will look different.
Yeah.
Is there any talk about football, preseason training, fall sports?
Yeah, no, that's the next item on the agenda, right? I mean, we, as a local staff, our fall sports right now are preparing for the fall as much as they can, for kids who just do those fall sports or whatever. So, and at the bigger classifications, spring football is starting now, normally between now and May. And so those are all normal activities that go on in preparation of the fall. So yeah, all of these contingency plans, all of these considerations that are happening all have to do with, what we're going to do coming out of this. And so, of course, those things are affected. Things that have come out that I've seen have been questions about what does the summer look like. A couple of years ago, they allowed us to start doing skill work in the summer with all sports. They allowed us to do 2 hours a week, allowing our coaches, our UIL coaches, to coach our kids for 2 hours a week in a specific sport, which was not allowed prior to them letting them do that. So there's been questions about, is that going to be extended? There's been questions about the summer speed and strength camps that everybody has. Are those going to be extended? Are some of the rules going to be lifted on certain days you can't do it, and how many weeks can you do it, and that kind of stuff? So those are all questions that they have to ask. And again, I'm not going to speak for them. I'm going to sit and wait until they let us know what it is we can and can't do, and when that happens, man, we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it with, hit the ground running and get it done and get back to work. And I think that's what's, that's the whole deal with this thing. Everything about this, everything we do is about togetherness, right?
Right.
I couldn't be more proud of our FISD athletic program and our entire district about the way we promote togetherness and team ahead of the individual, right? And so this whole thing goes against everything we're trying to do, right? Our individual sports, our tennis, our golf, our cross country, our track, our powerlifting, they all overemphasize being part of the team, right? And man, that's what's so hard about this whole deal, is that none of these kids and none of these coaches get to be together. And so, those are the things that you got to factor in too. And I think I heard Dr. Brazier when I came in talking about us getting back together. I think that's got to be priority number one, is that when we're allowed to, we've got to get back together. And then from there, I think we can figure out the rest of it. We've all been coaching many, many years, and we all have experience, and we've all figured out how to make things work. And, I think the biggest thing is just getting us all back together.
You bet.
So,
amen to that.
You bet.
Amen to that. Well, what should student athletes be doing right now?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, no doubt. So we kind of took an approach. Certainly, I don't try to micromanage the basketball program, boys or girls, or the cross country or whatever. So when this all went down, I was very general with my coaches. I said, look, in whatever format you're going to communicate with your kids, whatever it is. Some of our coaches do Team App. Some of them do Remind. Some of them do email. Some of them do Rank One. Rank One is our foundational communication piece where they have to do all their paperwork and all that stuff.
Right here.
Everybody, remind all parents that are listening, if you don't have the Rank One app, get it on your phone. It's the Rank One public parent app, and make sure it's completely updated, and then make sure that you have registered as the parent of your kid. And when you do that, you'll start getting messages and updates and all the things when schedules change and all that stuff. And then through the various formats, my big priority with our coaches was we need to talk to these kids. I think coaches by nature, it wasn't that hard for us because the relational capacity we have with our players. We one of the things we try to teach the high school kids is if you're not going to be there, you need to let us know. So we give them all our cell phone numbers, we give them our email, we give them our whatever, and they send us a text or they call us and they say, hey, I'm not going to make it or whatever. Teaching that responsibility piece. So it wasn't that big of a stretch for us to go from not being able to see our kids face to face to how can we get in contact with them? And first and foremost, I gave them 3 questions. I said, first we want to see how they are. How are they doing? Because again, the connectivity and the togetherness of being part of a team, being part of a family, right? And now that's taken away from you. So we got to check on them. We got to make sure they're okay. And then the second question we were going to ask them was, how's your family? Because this is, again, on a grand scale, this is unprecedented. I mean, this is, I'm a history teacher, and there's all these moments in history where people will always remember where they were or what happened, JFK assassination, Pearl Harbor, 9/11, whatever. This is one of those moments. And so we got to check on our kids and make sure that, we can't just assume that, hey, they're okay. They're just out of school. They're running around having fun, whatever. No, that's not the deal. I mean, they're connected to us. They're connected to their teachers. Our teachers and coaches are connected to them. We all, because of the passion we have for education and kids, we committed our life to doing this. And now we can't do it, and so it's very difficult. So, but third question is, what can we do to help you? How are you? How's your family? And what can we do to help you? And really, that's it. Certainly, I left it up to them to communicate the best methodology to get workouts in. Kids are so much smarter than we are. I'm a technology immigrant, right? I wasn't born with a cell phone, right? There weren't even, to have a phone on my watch, that's like Get Smart or the Jetsons or something, So the fact that I have a phone on my watch is unbelievable. But the kids understand all that stuff so much better to me than we do, than all of us do, all of us older generation people.
Oh yeah, there's 5-year-olds that know more than I do.
Well, and so honestly, if you can't figure out what you ought to be doing right now, then you just don't want to. YouTube is endless on home workouts, and there's some specific things. We posted some specific flexibility workouts. We've from a coaching perspective, the THSCA provided an app called Sports U, where it's a platform for us to get out information, and every day the THSCA puts out in-home workouts. They put out nutritional tips. They put out leadership training. They put out character education. And so I got on that. I signed up. I created a football team because I'm the head football coach as well. Today I created an FISD athletics page. I'm going to send that out by putting it on our website when we're done today. I'm going to send it out via email to our guys and to our coaches, and they can send it out. So there's all kinds of information out there. It's just a matter of doing it. I think I said the other night on my video shout out the other night about, they need to be doing something for 60 to 90 minutes. And they need to be sweating, and they need to be getting after it. And whatever it is, there's not something specific to FISD athletics or the Battling Billies or whatever. If you play softball, you need to be throwing a softball. If you play baseball, you need to be throwing a baseball, and you need to be taking cuts. That's it. If you run track, you need to be running. And practicing, obviously, safe, social distancing, all the protocols,
You're right, because May 4th or even a couple of weeks later, you go back to school, it's time to start
Right.
playing again.
Right, and
You
so
can't just sit on the couch eating Pringles. Right?
well, and refer back to UIL. UIL's, one of their primary roles is to make things an even playing field, so that schools with more wealth don't have an advantage over schools with whatever. And so in this case, I mean, we're all on an even playing field, right? I mean, this is unprecedented in terms of what kids can and can't do, and how we can instruct them, and all those things. So our first thing was to make connection with them, make sure they're okay, and then if they had questions about, hey coach, what do you want me to do? Hey coach, and I've talked to all of them, and I mean we had a couple of kids who, they basically took a field on their property and made a football field, and they're out there running routes and stuff, and there's two of them that happen to live together on the same general piece of property, and so they created a football field and they're out there running routes and stuff. So that kind of thing, being creative. I think I shared with you earlier that as kids progress, that's what we want, is we want them to not be spoon-fed. We don't want kids to graduate from our program that have to be told every day by their mom or by their dad or by their coach what they're supposed to do. We want them to figure out on their own what they're supposed to do. And so as we look at this thing, we all have a choice. We can choose to look at the problem, which we all have, and I can't give enough kudos to our staff for how they've mobilized in regard to being a classroom teacher face-to-face on a Friday and coming back a week later on a Monday, and now we're online instruction at home, take home, whatever. Amazing thing. And then for us to be able to do that, from an athletic perspective, I mean, it's exceptionally hard because everything we do is about being together. And so, we've got to work through that. From a perspective of where we're going now, now I'm going to challenge our staff to, I think they've gotten an understanding of the foundation of the face-to-face, the non-face-to-face learning and all that stuff. Now we're going to take it a step further in terms of the Zoom communication, and we're gonna, I'm gonna challenge them, head coaches and football staff, to start connecting with your kids through Zoom. I mean, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a Zoom meeting with my leadership council for the football program, and I'm sure that as we get closer to the date where we get to come back, if it looks like we're gonna get to come back, I think Coach Dietrich may have a Zoom with his team and he goes over his signs again, or he whatever, so that there's a way where we can connect with them different than just on the phone. And so that's kind of where I see it going. As far as what they should be doing, we always tell them, there's three things we tell them before every game, and I think we ought to tell them every day: do your job. What's your job right now? Your job is to practice social distancing, be a great teammate is number two. But as far as doing your job, take care of all your business academically, take care of your family, seize the moment to choose the opportunity instead of the problem. See what's good in this. You get to spend time with your family at home. You get to do things that you don't normally get to do right now. And then attack it. That's your job. Attack it and follow it so we can get back. Follow the social distancing protocols. I think that's the biggest problem with this whole thing, is that I think we all thought that this really wasn't that big a deal, and we live in a community that's relatively isolated. Certainly thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people come out here every weekend to come see us, but I think we maybe thought we were a little isolated on this deal, and so we've got to practice these things, and I think everyone's done a great job, our staff, and come together doing that, and then be a great teammate. I think teammates got to reach out to each other. I think seclusion causes, those mental health things and all those things that kids go through, the stress, the anxiety, whatever. So be a great teammate by, reaching out to your teammates. They, like I said, they know how to do the technology better than we do. They've been in contact. I mean, I've got two kids at home. My daughter's been Zooming with her roommates and her sorority sisters and her volleyball teammates, and so they know how to do that. And then thirdly, do it for a higher purpose. What's your highest purpose? Your higher purpose is for the glory of God, or for your team, or for your community, or whatever. And it means so much more right now. And if we don't seize this opportunity to teach them that, then we've missed out on it. I mean, that's what this is all about, is to show them this is what we're trying to teach you: how to deal with adversity and how to be part of a community on a grand scale. So that's the message I have to them, and I hope they accept it, and I hope they know that we're here for them. Most of them have our cell phone numbers, they have our emails. whether it be their head coach in their sport or their coordinator at the middle school or whatever. And so we just want them to know that they can reach out to us, and that applies to parents, and whatever we can do to help them, they need to reach out to us and ask for the help.
Well, I want to thank you, Dr. Brazier, for being on. We still got some time left. I wanted to thank you guys for this information today. I think it was very important to get.
You bet. Well, and that's, again, problems or opportunities. There's certainly, to go from a Friday to a Monday and be mobilized, it's quite a task. And so I can't shout out to our staff, the entire staff of the school district, our leadership from the school board all the way down, all the way through the whole program, just what they've done amazingly to get this done. I mean, everybody's, pitching in and what can they do to help and pulling it off in a grand scale. And so, we got it done. Now we got to sustain it and keep going with it.
We're going to take a quick break. Informing Fredericksburg, J.D. Rose visiting with Coach Lance Moffett, athletic director here in Fredericksburg, and a couple more questions, and then we'll open up the floor for you to have some final thoughts, and we'll wrap this up. Thanks for coming in. We'll be right back.
Bet.
Segner's Jewelers has been serving Fredericksburg and the Hill Country since 1937. We're thankful for the relationships we've built. Our community has weathered the test of time through the ups and downs. Segner's Jewelers supports the community during this difficult season. We will get through this. We are here to help any way we can. From our family to yours, God bless and keep the faith. Segner's Jewelers. Fredericksburg Trade Days wants to encourage everyone to stay healthy and be kind to your neighbors. When we get through this, we look forward to seeing you each month out on our little hill. Remember, water seeks its own level. So be what you want those around you to be. Visit us. FBGTradeDays.com. That's FredericksburgTradeDays.com. Check us out on Facebook. God bless, and we will get through this. Touch Well Service will take care of all your water well needs that come after drilling. They specialize in water pump installation and repairs, servicing windmills, solar pumps, jets, submersible pumps, and pressure tanks. Touch Well Service has been in business since 2002 with 83 years combined experience. Their entire staff is dedicated to their customers. Touch Well Service supports all men and women in the United States military and first responders. Touch Well Service, 830-997-2413. On the web, hillcountrywaterwell.com, and look for them on Facebook.
Creek Street Dental utilizes the latest technologies in dental care. Dr. McBride has been specially trained to offer the Hill Country sedation dentistry. Anxious patients can sleep through oral surgery in a private room with family nearby. Their CBCT machine provides near-silent imaging, making possible the most painless and effective treatments. iTero technology allows virtual manipulation and modeling, so no more gagging on impression trays. Call 830-990-1178 for the best in your family's dental health today.
Cordially Invited, a special service for special events, anywhere in the Hill Country. Family and friends won't have to miss it after all. From the producers of Billy's.live, cordiallyinvited.live. Find us in all the familiar places.
Here we go.
Oh, we're back. I was sitting here writing. Hello.
You're taking notes. Here we go. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. J.D. Rose with Coach Lance Moffett. So, what about the facilities like the track and things like that? Are you having to put a lock on?
Yeah, that was a tough decision. That was a tough call, to be honest. I mean, then we did that early. We did that first Sunday. I think big decisions were made on Saturday afternoon, and then we knew coming back on Monday we were going to be closed. And Dr. Brasher and I, we talked about that, and I just felt like, we live in such a great community. Our stadium, our track, our facilities are used constantly by all of the community. There's a group of grown men that play basketball every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday in one of our gyms through our community ed. There's community ed classes that go on in all our facilities. And so, in light of social distancing, separation, all the things we got to be doing right now, we had to make that call, and it was a tough call, but we decided to do that. We put a lock on the gate. We hadn't had a lock on the gates at the stadium except when we've been doing big construction projects or restriping the track or whatever. But we had to change the code on our weight room. We talked about changing the locks. I mean, some of that stuff, because our kids are so good, they're going to practice on their own, right? And now they're 4 weeks of seclusion. They want to be together. So they're going to climb the fence. I mean, I've had to run some kids off because they've climbed the fence and they're up there running and they're up there doing stuff on the track. And so, that was a tough decision, but it's the right decision. And It's a decision we needed to do and we needed to make. And certainly we want to get those facilities back open as quickly as we can. And that's why we've got to, close them and separate ourselves and take care of our business. So,
well, I'm going to say personally, my heart goes out to the seniors. And I know because what you're doing, I know this all evolved from a tweet somewhere along the line, but as I understand it, to salute our seniors as a tribute to our seniors, however you're turning on some of the stadium lights on game nights, Fridays, right?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it started as a tweet. I think maybe Dumas was the first school district to do it. They turned on their stadium lights, and they were going to turn them on all week for an hour each night. And then
people leaving porch lights on.
Leaving porch lights on. Coach H, that was her idea, Tuesdays and Fridays, to leave her porch light on, in symbol of the fact that, and she's going to leave it on like all night, because typically on a Tuesday and a Friday when we travel to games, we get home late and kids don't come home until late at night. And as you know, as a parent, that's the way it works. So the idea is that, we're there for our kids. And so just symbology of that, kind of bounced around. I noticed the next tweet I saw, Kerrville was doing it. And so Coach H kind of talked about doing that. Turn your porch light on Tuesdays and Fridays for our kids, our seniors that aren't getting to play right now. And certainly there's so many things that are so much more important and relevant in terms of crisis and all the things that are going on. But on the other hand, these kids, 12, 13 or 14 years of their life, this is their semester. Right. And they're sitting at home.
That's tough.
And so, I don't think there's anything we can do to replace that. Will they be resilient enough to fight through? You bet they will, because their parents and their coaches and their teachers, that's what we've set them up for and we've prepared them for. And so whether we get to play another game or we get to do anything, they're going to be okay. But we certainly want to honor them because we miss them and we love them, and we wish that we were getting to do what we could do. And so what we're going to do, rather than turning on the stadium lights every Tuesday or Friday or every night or whatever on game night, because it's Friday and today's a game day, and we'd be playing, as I mentioned, hopefully in the regional quarterfinals in soccer, if not the regional tournament, whatever it is. We'd be playing baseball, we'd be playing softball. We would have just completed our district track meet yesterday. Yeah. We would be competing in our middle school district track meet today. And we'd be getting ready to, advance and go do those things. So just in honor of that and in honor of those kids and honor of those teams, we're going to turn on the lights in one of our venues. I know that we live in a frugal town, and I know people don't want me wasting money on electricity. So I get that. I hear you. Those of you that are going to put that on rants and raves or whatever, go ahead. But I love those kids so much, and our coaches love those kids, and our ISD loves those kids, and our school board, and so we're going to do that. We're going to take that time. Those lights would already be on. They'd already be on from dark until the game was over anyway. And right. So we've budgeted for that money, and we're having to move things around. I think Dr. Brazier alluded to that, and we're buying computers and we're doing some different stuff. But we budgeted for that. So we're gonna crank those lights on for 30 minutes, and then I sent a video, just an encouraging message, I think, and I'm gonna try to send another one tonight on a maybe different topic, and put that on Facebook and Twitter, and certainly we don't want people out. We don't want people to come up and meet when the lights are on or anything like that. I mean, we're still practicing social distancing, but in Fredericksburg, I'm blessed that I live a little bit north of town by the elementary school, and I kind of live up on a hill, and when our lights are on, I can see the stadium from my house, from my back porch. And so, that's kind of the thing, is just the lights are on.
I can see them from my house.
And so, that just an honor for those seniors and for those teams that ought to be playing. And I don't know a better way to do it for now. And just remind them that, if we do get to come back to school, we're gonna hit it, and we're gonna get after it, and we're gonna try to make it as good as it possibly can be, for you, and whatever graduation looks like, whatever the celebration of the 2020 senior class looks like, we're going to do it. We don't know what that is right now, and so there's some uncertainty about it, and so we just want them to know that we're going to honor them, because this has been an exceptional year in the athletic program. I can't speak to the quality of our seniors, both on the boys and the girls side. It's an exceptional group of young people who have led us from the beginning. From the beginning of the year, from last summer, they've led us, and so they deserve the respect and the dignity that getting to finish, and so that's what that's all about. And we're going to do it. We're going to do softball tonight. I think we're going to do tennis next Tuesday, the tennis lights. Then we're going to do baseball, and then I'm going to finish up in the gym, and then we'll start over. So just every Tuesday, Friday for 30 minutes. And somebody was asking me about what time, and it doesn't get dark till 8:30, so I'm certainly not going to turn them on when it's still light outside.
He's going to turn them on at 3:30. No, I'm just kidding.
So I think I turned them on at 8:30 Tuesday night, and they were on until 9. And then I sat there, and my daughter helped me make a video on my phone, and so we're going to do that, and just in honor of them, and let them know that we love them and we're here for them, and we're going to do whatever we can, whenever we can.
Well, I'm going to give you the final thoughts,
bet.
but at this time, I do want to thank Dr. Jeff Brazier, Fredericksburg Independent School District Superintendent, for some fantastic information, and Coach Lance Moffett here, Athletic Director of the Fredericksburg Independent School District. But here's your chance. Just final thoughts, Coach.
You bet. No, first, my message tonight on the lights on thing is going to be about thankfulness. I want to be thankful. You already thanked your sponsors. I want to thank our health professionals. We're all, there's a lot of people working right now, putting themselves at risk, and we appreciate what they're doing, and it's a lot of different industries. My wife's a flight attendant. Some of our coaches' wives are nurses. I know Dr. Brazier's wife is a medical professional. We're all in this together, and those people are working. They're doing yeoman work to help us get through this as a community. And just, this is a big deal. I don't think I realized how big it was until I went to pick up my wife at the airport Wednesday night. She's a flight attendant, and she's been charged into service, and they're still flying domestic, and about 50% of their flights are being canceled, and so her trips are changing. And she was going to fly out of San Antonio, but she had to fly out of Austin, and then all the flights to Austin got canceled, and so she had to fly into San Antonio. So we had to drive to San Antonio and get her, and kind of circle back through Austin to get her car and whatever. And you go to the airport at 10:30 at night on a weeknight, and she was the only person in the pickup.
Wow, that'll hit you.
There was 3 police cars there, and my wife standing there with her bag. And so you realize that, again, we're relatively sheltered out here, and certainly that's a great thing about living here and our community and all that. But this is a big deal, and I didn't see it with my own eyes until I drove to San Antonio, and I drove to Austin, and then I drove back. And it's just, there's nothing going on right now. And so just remind everybody how the gravity of this. Thankful for our medical professionals, our first responders. Our police are doing an outstanding job, and then our staff at the ISD. Our custodial, our maintenance, our technology, and our transportation staff. They are working their tails off to make sure that we can keep this thing going. Our teachers, some of them are having to come in and do some stuff, and so our custodial staff's having to come behind them and clean up and kill all the germs and do all that stuff. Our maintenance staff is working to keep the lights on and everything going so that the teachers can do their job, so they can get the instruction to the kids. The transportation department is trying to help figure out ways to get food to kids if they need to. And then our technology department is bending over backwards to help us transition from not having an online educational presence to having it, right? And so just thankful to all those people, and thankful to all of our our Billy Boosters and our Billy Booster sponsors. Those people, they all own businesses in town, and I want to remind our people to keep supporting those businesses and keep, my kids love to eat out anyway, so it's been pretty good to call in and go pick up something and do, all those things, and hopefully, that won't be taken away from us, but support those local businesses, because they support us when we're able to do things. And then just say thanks to our kids. Until it's taken away, I don't think you realize the value of what we do. The hometown community we created. You were there that last Friday before spring break. The girls played in the state semifinals.
I got goosebumps.
That's what small town athletics, small town community is all about. And so when that's taken away, certainly you're more thankful for it. Thankful to our kids and our families for the support they give us on a regular basis, and just know that we're going to get back to it. I mean, this too shall pass. We have to choose to focus on the problem or focus on the opportunities, and hopefully we can continue to focus on the opportunities and just remind all our kids and all our families that we're here, and you all know how to get a hold of us, so get a hold of us, and we'll be giving information to you as we get it. We certainly don't want to jump the gun and put information out that we have to back up or walk back. But as we know it, we're going to let you know it, and we appreciate you having us on, and appreciate what y'all are doing to help keep the community informed.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Appreciate it. God bless you, folks. Choose faith over fear. God will get us through this, I promise. We're going to get through this.
Indeed.
There's a light at the end.
Indeed.
And there's silver linings and everything. There's good things that are going to come out of this.
No doubt.
God bless you, Coach. Thank you very much.
God bless
Coach
you as
Lance
well.
Moffett, Athletic Director, Fredericksburg Independent School District. We also want to thank Dr. Brazier, Superintendent, for coming in as well. God bless you, folks.
Thank you.